I've been blessed to walk a few different roads, the stage, the studio, and lately, deeper into my own community. This podcast is my way of listening more, sharing more, and finding common ground with people who inspire me. I'm Bobby Pulido, and this is my Ranch Hall podcast. My guest for today needs no introduction. He's somebody that I admire. He's a legend. And it's kind of awkward, but I'm going to interview my dad, Roberto Pulido.
Boy, I tell you
Dad,
what.
how you doing, man?
All right, son. Chica, you know what? Felicidades. Number one, I know that your grandparents, my dad, my mom, mis suegros, are in heaven looking down.
Yeah.
And I reflect back in my life. Gracias a Dios y toda la gente, I've been blessed, okay? Number one, Chihuahuas, I remember when you were born. Parece que fue ayer. I was performing, we're performing in McAllen, the Civic Center, con los casinos de Cecilio Garza. And your mom had gone into labor, y ahí estoy, y que esto que el otro. And then back then, we used to work 2 hours and a half. And then we'd take a 30-minute break. And I told Cecilio, man, I'm getting off. Y me arranqué all the way to Edinburg at the hospital. And I saw you recién nacido.
With the cone head.
Boy, man. And it got me worried because, like, your head was up like this, man, because of the birth canal. And no, he's going to get back to normal. I got to go back. And
here we are, right?
We got there in time. And then I'll never forget, afterwards, Chihuahuas, they had that Strawberry Hill. Me puse bien guayno, man, I tell you what. It was a celebration.
Hey, I actually got drunk on Strawberry Hill when I was a kid.
It was a celebration, Vito.
Yes.
And you know what? It's strange enough. When your sister was born, we were touring in Washington State. And I got to meet her when she was 1 month old. She was, and I tell you what, I had no sisters. She's the only daughter que tengo.
This was before FaceTime and cell phones. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's just no way that we could communicate,
that
right?
was it, Vito. You know what? Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. But I want to take back, Dad. I want to go back because I want people to understand where you come from and what molds you. And I know you were born in 1950, March 1st in Edinburg, Texas.
Like you say, 19 throw it away.
Back in 19 throw it away. But I know you were born. You were born basically at the time. Was he working a tide at the time, or was he still working in the fields when you were born?
I mean, like my dad, he worked as a cook. He also worked at Tide Products, i.e. in Edinburg.
Right.
And he worked the fields. I mean, of course, I was the oldest. And man, you name it, I did it. Picking cotton, al kilo ahí la sandía, melón.
So would that be like
tomate.
6 years in Texas? 6 months? Would you go like half the year Texas, half the year California? Because I know people in California are like, Roberto Pulido was here picking.
Yeah, because I mean, I went to school over there. I stayed with my grandparents
In Parlier.
a year and a half in Parlier, California.
Yeah.
I spent, and then my dad got hurt también when I was a junior. And half of the year I went to school allá in California. I mean, I went to take care of my dad. Pero you know what, son? A lot of people don't know, but I have 60% of ear loss in both ears. I got run over by a pickup truck.
How old were you?
When I was 3 years old.
3.
My mom was 8.5 months pregnant, and when my uncle accidentally ran over my legs, she ran and she fell on her stomach. And I had a brother that only lived for 7 days, you know. And back then, all the root industry body go to your feet. I had nerve damage, and when I was young, I did not know how to speak English, and they used to paddle me. After the 5th swab, I said, I ain't gonna say nothing no more, but they didn't know that I had a hearing problem. As a fourth grader, I started lip reading, you know. And jokingly now I tell everybody, since I got educated, I speak 5 languages, English, Spanish, por teléfono, radio, and TV. It works every time, but I go back
Which is
to all the hardships.
That's amazing because you made a life in music having very low hearing. That's incredible because I've known you all my life, and as far as I've known you, you've always been really hard of hearing. So we got to talk loud to you, and sometimes it looks like we're mad at you, right? Like, no, te estoy diciendo esto, and be like, man, he's mad, he's yelling at his dad. No.
But now that I have my hearing aids, no me grites.
Right. But it's amazing because I remember when I would go record in the studio, you know, you'd go in there and you'd listen and you go, ¿Estás afinado el bajo sexto? And I'm like, what? Like, and we're listening to the whole music, and he's like, esta cuerda está desafinada. And we go back and check it, and you're like, man, this deaf guy. There's certain
decibels Vito, in la música, and even when you speak, that I pick up very fine. When I was studying music at the university aquí in Pan American way back then, decía profesor, Roberto, how can you tell me you hard of hearing? Because like every time that we put you down and everybody else to match the pitch, you always come in front. I mean, there's certain decibels in the music that I hear.
Yeah, the frequencies.
The frequency, yeah.
Right.
Anyway, como quiera, you know what? I reflect back on my life, and it's been a blessing, mijito, okay? Thanks to the Lord, thanks to the upbringing that my dad gave me way back when he was, the last days, he said, son, the sayings were very short and brief. There's one that I never ever want you to forget. He said, son, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. You know what? He was a very smart cookie.
Yeah, of course.
I said, Dad, you only went to the first grade in Mexico. How the hell did you learn how to speak English? You go, a huevo. You had to learn the language. And it's beautiful to be bilingual.
So when you were younger, you spoke all Spanish?
Yeah.
Not English, nothing in English?
No, yo no sabía hablar inglés.
Puro español.
Puro español.
Up till about what age that?
When I first went to, I started learning the English maybe as a second grader.
Okay.
But you know what? That on the long run made a better man out of me. I tell a lot of the people, especially los kids, it's beautiful to be bilingual. There's more jobs available and stuff like that. And the communication is, in other words, sí se puede. All you have to do is just apply yourself and take it from there. I
agree. And we got to have more pride in that bilingualism, right? Like right now, they're already telling truck drivers they can't, if they don't speak only English, if they don't know English, they can't be truck drivers in the country. So like sometimes it feels like we're under attack, and our bilingualism is under attack, and that's. But we'll get into that later. I just kind of wanted, because, I mean, of course, like I said, I've known you since all my life because you made me.
The Lord made you and your mom.
Well, that's true, but you did something in there, and you know, it was all boys, right? You lost your little brother.
Yeah.
But it would have been 6 boys.
6 boys.
5 boys.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting because, like Grandpa, Abuelo, I would always call him the George Foreman, the Mexican George Foreman, because all of you were named Jose.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yo soy Jose Roberto, Jose Junior, Jose Eloy, Jose Joel, Jose Robel, and everybody tells me, I went to school with your brother Joe. ¿A cuál de todos? You know?
You say, well, Jose, like, well, pero no es borracho, no le gusta tomar.
I mean, but, you know what, yeah. But you know what? Ellos también, they've had their up and down and stuff like that.
Well,
but since I was the oldest, I always aspired to be a baseball player. I remember Chihuahuas. I stayed in California with my grandparents, and I came back as a 14-year-old. My dad was working in a cotton gin in Sugar Land, and they took me to the Astrodome. Mother, hijo de su.
And then later you actually threw the pitch.
1990,
pitch,
I'll
right?
never forget it. I threw the first pitch of an Astro at the New York Mets game, and my dad was there.
Wow.
Because everything that I did, so I wanted my parents to feel proud of me.
That's how I feel about you. That's
That's
all it motivated me.
And I'll tell you what, Vito, you have.
I know the
man,
feeling. I know the feeling.
I know.
I know what you say when you say that. You know.
Family is very important. I remember way back in 1954 when they had the Braceros north of Edinburg, allí en La Hilera, versus Lowell, Texas. North.
Explain what the Bracero program was.
Well,
To everybody else, I know what it was. But
way back when the Rio Grande Valley was known as the Magic Rio Grande Valley, because you could
fertile ground.
in other words, there was crops year round that you could, and then was United States and Mexico made a treaty, and they sent some workers here in the United States to work the fields. And I used to go with my dad, and I remember, hey primo, hey primo, hey primo. I said, Dad, you have a lot of cousins. He goes, no, son. Our raza has gone through so much discrimination that the only way that we're going to be able to survive is if we take care of one of each other. I want them to feel like part of the family.
And that's why you kept the name El Primo Roberto Pulido. That's how that came,
No,
right?
ahí en el barrio,
Okay.
I was the original Bobby. You were born, they call you, they call you Bobby, they call me Primo. And, you know, the story repeats itself because everybody, hey primo, hey grandpa, my grandkids, you have a lot of cousins. Oh boy, here we go again. And then I explain the story, you know. But again, Miquito, you know what? It's been a rough road, but at the end of the day, I reflect back, and it's made a better person out of me, Miquito. I'm very proud of the whole family.
Of course.
I'm very proud of you, mi hija Alma, también, I mean, mi hijo Marco Antonio, and I tell a lot of the people that we're like the farmers. What you plant, you reap. You know what? In the future, primeramente Dios, I hope I'm still alive to where we can see un Tejano, Mexican American, que sea president of the United States.
Well,
Sí se
now
puede.
that you're saying that, I think in the back here, I stole some things from you, right? You didn't really realize this, but I stole them. Because I wanted to build a set, but I wanted to build a set that was Bobby. And to be honest, we have a lot of things in common. We hunters. We did a beer commercial together. I have aspirations down the road in politics. And you did a gimmick, right? You made a gimmick way back when of bumper stickers, because that was the thing. Now nobody wants a bumper sticker on their car, right? I get it. Nobody wants that. But back in the day, you made these Pulido for president ones.
Yeah.
And, right? And you always tell an interesting story that I want you to tell of you had it. I think you had it on the luggage on the things when you'd fly, right? This was at an airport.
We did commercials for way back then. I mean, I did commercials for 3 beer companies, como quiera. We went to Hollywood to go take pictures and stuff like that. And in Hollywood, I was going up in the elevator, and in my guitar case it said Pulido for president. And there was 5 gringos, okay? Gringos, the grass, that's where the word comes from, como quiera. And they kept looking at the guitar. And one of them says, pardon me, sir, but who's this Pulido, sir, for president? You run it? Yes, sir. I haven't heard nothing on the radio. That's why I'm here, sir. We're kicking off our campaign. And then they said, no, sir, you know what? I'm a musician. They go, man, you had me going. I'd vote for you. But at the end of the day, I should have, president of what? That's what I found out later. Of the janitors or president of the...
Or the Musicians Association.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Vito. I mean, it was just a gimmick, just to get people going and stuff like that. it was a rough road. You can imagine, okay? I got a 4-year scholarship there at the university. When it was started, the first year was Pan American College. The following year, that's when they turned it into Roberto Pulido. I mean, they turned it into Pan American University.
And then it became UTRGV.
Yes. Years later, I started my own Roberto Pulido Music Scholarship Endowment. In the University of Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, here in Edinburg, and also Bracero, there's money available for any student that wants to go study music under my name. If they need a little bit of assistance, hey, apply. There's somebody available.
The people really don't know that you're a teacher.
I traded a job as a band director to teach elementary because they would not let me perform on the side. But it was a blessing. I traded a job that paid $14,500, a job that only paid $7,100.
Because you could make it up on the weekends.
But I was performing on the side because that's what I've been doing ever since I was 15 years old.
And that's where you met Mom.
Yeah, I got to meet your mom.
Right?
Okay, a little bit later. Oh, I'll tell you what.
How old were you when you met Mom? Tell the truth. We're amongst friends. It's probably not socially acceptable right now.
Well,
how old were you?
I was 19 and your mom was 15.
Oh, no.
But wait.
Yeah,
hey,
I know.
But when we got married, I was 22 and she was 18.
I'm just kidding, yes. But
I'm not a child molester, okay?
I'm not saying that way. But you met Mom and she was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Right? But my daddy Mario Montes did not know.
No.
He didn't know about that. That was...
No, he didn't know about that. I tell you what, I mean, your mom, fíjate, I wanted to impress your mom when she went across. I said, whoa. That's what I decided I was going to try to sing a song.
No.
Delante de mí, detente lo más que puedas, no sea que por eso perdamos las amistades.
You had never sang before?
No.
So
and then I went. If she would dance, and her friend thought I was talking about her. Like,
but
no,
okay, who took her to the dance?
Your abuela.
Okay.
It was a.
So she was la alcahueta. She was.
Yeah, it was a quinceañera.
A quinceañera.
Yeah,
okay.
It was a quinceañera, and then, boy, the song started, and I said, you better tell me que sí. And your mom had never danced before.
Oh.
And I started dancing. That's when I found out that she was Mario Montes' daughter.
And you knew
because I was 11.
You knew about my grandpa Mario Montes.
Because I was 11 years old, and my dad, he was a fan, and they played in Elsa. And I went there, and I remember seeing them perform, Los Doleños, Chihuahuas. And never realizing when they said, "Ay boy, that was gonna marry his daughter." Pero
so you dated her. So you said you got married at 22. So you dated her for like 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years of just, hey man, hey, I'll see you next week at the dance, or
no.
Where would you see her?
No, I mean, if there was gonna be some kind of an event, I would find out and I would go.
Okay. So you're like stalker. Like, hey, tell the truth, Dad.
No, Vito. In other words. Hey, you know what? I saw the lady, the young girl, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, Mom's a knockout. Mom's a knockout, man. Nada perdido.
But from a knockout, she went to a honeydew.
Oh, yeah. Honeydew this and honeydew that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then you're 19 years old. Do you want to get married? Right?
No. I was 19, she was 15. I waited
you're
till
22,
she was...
You're 22. You waited till she was 18 years old.
Right.
You want to get married.
Yeah.
And you go over to the house, to their house.
No.
Your
grandfather was ahí in the Jesse's place in Elsa. I told my dad, hey, we'll go out there and ask for permission and
do it the right way.
Yeah, do it the right way.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law, may he rest in peace, dijo, no, yo quería la entrada. I just wanted to be, hey.
He didn't even let you come in.
No. He said, I mean, ahorita eres tú, de novio, next week va a ser otro. No. So I told my dad, pues entonces pídele la mano. And I went and I told him that I wanted to marry his daughter. And like, well, let me discuss this with her mom. Forget it.
They shut the door on you there.
Yep.
Yep.
Then they wanted to move her to Mexico.
They wanted to move her to Mexico to get her away from you.
Yep.
Yeah, those musicians, they know musicians.
Well, I'll tell you what, it still didn't work.
Yeah, so then what happened? I mean,
we eloped.
How did that happen?
And your mom, when she
You didn't elope, te la robaste.
Yeah, well, yeah. Your mom estaba, she and mi cuñado Mario Montes were studied in Harlingen, and I borrowed the car from my neighbor, and I went all the way over there.
From Lupe Armandina Rios.
Yeah. I lied. I told him I was going to go to El Salomás. And the next thing you know, I mean, it's either now or never. Like, she came. And Mijito, you know what? I'm not proud of it because, like, your grandparents did not speak to you. I mean, to me.
You guys, till I was born, right?
Right, till you were born. And
I can imagine. My grandfather Montes was a proud man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, old school.
Old school.
Like,
and I
yeah,
tell you what,
absolutely.
it's just like my dad. My dad, con la pura vista, con los puros ojos, me hablaba.
Well, the good Lord knows why I didn't have any girls, any daughters.
Well,
That's why I know. I mean, people don't know that the male gene in our family is like super strong.
Yeah. I mean, in other words, you know what? When
when
your mom was pregnant with Alma, she said, Roberto, la vas a pagar todas. What?
Well, my sister Alma has balls. Maybe not on the outside, but they're somewhere there. So, yeah.
I said, what are you talking about? Your wife has a girl. Mama, how the hell do you know? Just look at her stomach and look at her nalgas. She could tell if it was going to be a boy or a girl.
I think she guessed that. I think it was just 50-50 chance of guessing.
No.
That's a myth. That's an old myth.
No, Vito. This is the way they used to find out if you had a female or a male. I mean, something that the stomach would be pointed and you didn't have enough butt.
Es que las niñas son más picudas.
Anyway.
So then I'm born and they hadn't spoken since you guys eloped, right? It was like, hey, you're dead to me type of thing.
And you know what, Vito? You know what? But from then on, I showed mi suegro that I was just not any individual.
Well, you never let an otro come in there.
He turned out to be a very good friend of mine. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember that we were working in La Sandía, watermelon, ahí in San Manuel. And when I showed up at the house with your mom, and my mom was there, and she said, Robertito, ¿qué hiciste? And she sat down. I said, ¿sabe tu papá? Pues él me dijo, pues he's waiting for you allá en San Manuel en La Sandía. So I go up there, and my dad was on top of the truck arreglando las sandías. ¿Dónde estabas? Cabrón. Le dije, Dad, ya se coció la calabaza. What? Ya se coció la calabaza. What are you talking about? Me robé a Diana. What? Tú me dijiste, I was just kidding.
Too late. You're not going to take her back.
I'll tell you what, your grandma was...
Oh, I can only imagine. I heard they put an ass whooping on my tío Mario because he was the one that had been with her. So you should apologize to him one of these days if you didn't already.
Hey, mijito, you know what? the one that got mad at me was your tío Mario.
That's what I'm saying.
Que bien quedaste.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. I mean, but then...
Well, he got in trouble.
Yeah, I know. They ran him out of the house.
Right, yeah, because he was the one... He was the brother that was supposed to be taking care of his little sister.
Yeah, because he was the oldest. But,
hey, I'm the oldest. I know, man. I know how that is.
But at the end of the day, you know what, Vito? again, I'm going to repeat it, I've been blessed. I showed the family that I was just not any cabron. And you know what?
And you started playing music, like after the college, you played saxophone. I'm a saxophone player because of you.
Yeah.
You played sax, you graduated, you were teaching, but you were playing on the sides. What band was your very first band you played with? Was it Los Laytons?
Los Laytons in 1965.
That was the first band.
That's the first
And then
band.
you went to Cecilio Garza.
And then I played with mi tío Roberto Pulido
Los
in
Cardenales.
California.
You had a band called Los Cardenales, right?
Los Cardenales de Roberto Pulido.
Right.
And then I even performed 3 months con Los Dos Libertos. And mind you, I asked him for $1 raise, and I used to get paid $5 a night.
And they fired
And
you.
he said, no, es todo. I said,
What were you doing? Playing saxophone?
yeah.
So Dos Gilbertos, who has always been a conjunto staple,
Right.
they actually had
They had a
saxophone.
yeah.
Wow.
You know, I mean, like, pues, Chihuahuas, I mean, like, I quit because they didn't want to give me a raise or $1
Well,
raise.
you say it's $1 raise right now, like if it's nothing. But if they're paying you $5 and you want $6, it's a pretty good size raise.
But back then, the cost of living was not as expensive as it is right now.
Oh no, it's crazy. But,
and
then what moment did you decide I'm gonna start my own band?
well, when I started playing con los casinos de Cecilio Garza, by the way, he said hello.
Yeah.
I saw him at the Legends meeting this morning, and I mean, like, but since I was studying ahí la música, they asked me to criticize. And pues la música back then salió pronto, and I was criticizing, and then the keyboard player said, Roberto, ya.
Like stop criticizing.
Yeah, you stop criticizing.
Because you were the expert.
I
You
said,
were the
"Look,
guy that had graduated with a degree in music.
You guys asked me, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I told him, I said, you know what? I'm not a singer, and I can sing better than that any day. Te apuesto que no le entras. ¡Pum! Salió la primera tirada. Nunca jamás pensé llegar a
You're kidding.
tanto. No.
But you did that on your own?
Yeah. I'm the one that made the arrangements. I mean.
But I'm saying, you sang that as Roberto Pulido or with
No,
Casinos?
con los casinos.
With Los Casinos.
Yeah.
And you basically did it to prove somebody wrong.
Yeah.
You sound like me.
And they said,
I'm like you.
You better do it right now. And they came out on the first take. Hey, Vato, you can sing, man. Because, like, I remember before all that, I used to get together con Snowball, but he rest in peace. De los
Yeah.
You know, con Eddie Perez.
Snowball used to terrify, he'd scare the shit out of me. So Snowball is a very famous musician from the Valley.
He was an
albino.
albino.
And I was young, and I remember, like, you don't see albinos. They look like the abominable snowman.
I remember
And
the
it's
first
like,
time.
this guy, I would cry. I'd see that guy, and I would want to run.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. You see, when I was going to the university, me and him, we used to go to a bar, and then we would play ahí, and then afterwards they would give us a case of beer. We used to go to Los Naranjos, you know, and pues ahí, órale, Snowball said, man, you can sing. So that's how we got started. I mean, like, sometimes when you set your mind to do something, that's what I admire about you. Because I remember you were very bashful. You were very shy.
All the time.
And I remember
I
remember that we did a show with Johnny Canales, and I got home at around 4 o'clock in the morning, and you were awake, and you were going to St. Mary's University. You said, Dad, I want to try my luck in music. What? You like in music? And I said, yes, Dad. I mean, like, look, just promise me one thing. You're going to give me an education. Okay?
Oh, you're going to throw that in my face. I never did.
Yeah. But son, you know what?
But I mean,
not because you're president.
No.
Not because you're president. But I've never seen an artist start, and the next thing you know, it's. But I feel very proud.
I caught a lot of shit because of that. Like there were artists that resented me and were mad, and I said like, well, that I didn't pay my dues. I'm like, nobody gets into something going, well, I'm gonna fail a little bit, so then I can succeed later. You just try to do the best you can, right?
Okay, remember. Yeah,
I remember
I
that,
recorded
yes.
that song because I wanted it just for my personal.
You lied to me.
Yeah, and that was the song that got you started.
That's right. Because you showed it to the label, and then I negotiated your contract too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
It works both ways. Yeah. But I'm curious that like I do have a recollection when I was younger. A lot of key moments. But the one thing I don't really know is how was I as a kid? Because I don't remember, right? I mean, I know you said I was bashful, but there's other traits I probably had too. What do you remember about me when I was younger? Like, young.
I remember one time there was my birthday, and they gave me about 16 cases of beer.
16 cases of beer?
Yeah. And then,
you need 16 cases
and
for your
then I
birthday?
woke up the next day, and I remember that I had my 1946 pickup afuera, and I had the beer ahí.
At the house in Elsa.
Yeah.
Right? In Elsa, Texas.
And I'm all hung over, and then I could hear, psst, 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 psst. I said, what that noise? I had hearing aids back then. Psst. And you opened up about 2 cases of beer, nomás. You were having a great time, chica, con el ruido.
Yeah. That was my Montessori education. Yeah. I mean, I do not remember that, though. But I was probably still too little.
And then I remember que so many incidents que you went through to us when I was building a home in Edinburg. And I told you, when I leave the road, don't you go out there and get that shotgun.
Oh. Yeah.
Then this promoter came from
where was he
Angleton.
Angleton.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And he said, hey, Dad, Bobby shot the boy. Ay, chingado. And I got out.
That guy was
and I was getting my belt. He said, wait a minute, Dad. I mean, he said he wanted to shoot it, and he put it like this, and
it tore a part of his nose.
Yeah, with a 12 gauge.
I didn't even know the kid, but he was bigger. I was like,
he was 14.
Yeah, I was like 6 or 7. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm shooting crows in the back with a shotgun, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this bigger kid wants to shoot it. Well, okay, go ahead and shoot it. But he didn't know how to hold a gun.
And then another one too, okay, that I remember.
Yeah.
Que we were flying in from California, and my brother said, Roberto, when you were young, you used to make a lot of mistakes, right? Well, yeah. Why are you telling me that? No, when you get to the house, you'll find out. And that's when I got to the house, your mama said, who do you know from New York City? well, the people that I do, that I'm recording for, I mean, why? We had a telephone bill of $345 from New York. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then I went up to you. Hey, Bobby.
Well, we're gonna explain.
Have you been a good boy? Yeah. But have you been a good boy? Well, you see that. You know my friend, his mom works there at the bank. He made phone calls to New York City.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call somebody out. This was somebody I went to elementary with, Aaron Rivas. Then I went to high school with Aaron. I haven't seen Aaron in years. I don't know anything about him. I don't know where he's at. But we were young. We were in elementary, and he came and he gave everybody a phone number. It says, if you call this number, there's women having sex. And so I went home, right? I dialed the phone number. I'm like, cheat. And all of a sudden, I mean, there's a woman on the line.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mikey Rios got another one, but
Yeah, I got Mikey in trouble, right? Big time. So it's like I'm calling. Oh yes, baby. Oh, dude. Like, I mean, it was like, right? And I was like, oh my God. So we kept calling and kept calling. We had no idea that it was not 1-800. It was 1-900. And then those things were charging. But I did it at Mikey's house. Mikey got an ass whooping, like because of that.
And then let me tell you what happened.
Yeah.
También. So I went to go see me. About a week later, I went to go see mi compadre El Severo Reina. And I get there, hey, compadre, they called you, they want you to talk, que esto que el otro. ¿Qué? Mira, aquí está. And so I'm listening to it, and I'm smiling, and I'm laughing. Todo dar, dije, compadre, who told you that this was a toll-free number?
It's not.
Well, I mean, they said que toll-free. Like, no, you're calling New York City. Dijo, hijo de su, I'm going to get me a big bill.
Well, that's what happened with Mom. Mom dialed the number when she got the bill.
But your sister was the one that was hearing the other phone.
And she said that somebody sounded like a lady was really tired.
The lady was very tired. Yeah.
Oh man, Dad, you're bringing up stories that I had forgotten about. So needless to say, I was travieso.
Very much so, sir.
Yeah.
You were the oldest.
I'd get into good trouble. I was the oldest. Yeah.
But you know what, Vito? That's part of life.
It is part of life.
You have to make mistakes, but you have to learn from the mistakes.
No doubt.
Okay.
And I remember when we were younger, Dad, like back here, like there, mi pequeñito, right? My brother Mark got the chicken pox. He was supposed to come out there.
You see, the song Mi Pequeñito
Was for him.
Yeah, it was for him.
I didn't get a song. I wasn't
because
fortunate.
Freddie Fender had a cousin allá en Uvalde, and he called me, and I said, Mira, I can't speak right now because I gotta go because my wife's gonna have the baby. Okay. And then he called back later, and I told him he had a little boy, but the second verse was I composed it to make it long enough.
Okay.
And but you were 6, 7 years old
when you came out. 7 years old, yeah.
Yeah, when you came out.
And that was an album cover, you know.
Right.
Now I have here, Dad, Los Cazadores Pulido. Did Joe Olivares give you that?
Yeah.
Right?
Because
that was by Laredo at the Callahan Ranch.
Así mero.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that trip. I remember when we were there, and I remember it was cold.
Very much so.
Very cold.
I'll never forget the time that we went hunting in Colorado, remember?
Yeah.
It was 10 below zero, 9,000 feet above sea level, and you kept going, párate, I can't breathe, man.
Yeah. We had some great experiences hunting. I mean, we traveled a lot of places. I'm going to tell a story. We went to the Northwest Territories, right? This is in the tundra region. No trees grow, right? Like we're
walking in the tundra, like as you're
walking on the tundra. And it's like spongy. It's like what you would imagine like walking on the moon or something, like just real spongy. And I remember we were in the kitchen. Everybody was there. The chef was there. All the hunters were there. And then my dad, like you said, hey, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, and you left.
I had to go.
I didn't think much about it, right?
I had to go to the restroom.
Yeah, you had to go to the restroom, and so there in that area, right?
It was an outhouse.
The restroom was an outhouse,
right?
Because you're in the middle of nothing. They had to build a camp. So I'm sitting there with them, and I'm hearing, and I heard that. I must have heard that, Dad, for about 10 minutes straight.
I was whistling something.
I know. But I must have heard that for like 10 minutes straight. And I'll never forget, that's how it went. Because you're a good whistler, I'm not. But I would, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Right? And then I went, and I thought to myself, and I said, there's no birds here in this area. There's no birds. But it sounded like a bird.
No,
and then it dawned on me, my dad's not here.
I walked inside.
So I walk out. Let me tell the story because it's from my perspective. I walk out and I walk towards the outhouse, towards a noise. And I looked at, and there's a crack in the outhouse, and your eyes like this, and you're whistling, and I noticed that the palanca on the outside had fallen down and locked you in the outhouse. And I start laughing. No te rías, hijo tu pinche madre. Ábreme la puerta.
I was stuck there for about 15 minutes.
And it's cold.
And it was cold.
It's real cold.
And I tell you what, around the camp, I remember they had the big fence, 50,000 watts.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the bears.
Yeah, they did. They did.
But yeah, Chihuahuas, man. I don't think I could have lasted another 10 more minutes ahí, because like, oh man, whoever took a dump ahí, chingao. But it was, but I had that was one of a kind experience. I mean,
I remember what I told you when we were on the airplane going over there.
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
You told me
I got good news.
Yeah, no beer. We stayed there 7 days.
7 days of detox.
And it was walking. We would walk anywhere from 3 miles to 8 miles.
Yeah.
And man, I tell you what.
It was rough. You were about my age now, sort of.
Well, give or take plus or minus 10%. Yeah.
Yes. That's crazy.
But you know what, Beto? I'll never forget, like when we went to Argentina.
Yeah.
Tirada. And
yeah.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I mean,
we were hunting buddies when we were younger. It was like my recollection with you was, hey, we're going on the road, and then from there we're going to the ranches to go hunting. We would go hunt.
When you shot your first deer, I'll never forget it.
Santa Rosa Ranch.
At the Santa Rosa Ranch.
Yeah.
And Slim Pickens, the movie star, was there.
Yeah. Don and Fannie Willis.
Right.
Yeah.
And man, Chihuahuas. And I've got the picture. It came out of the newspaper.
Yeah.
With you and your deer, and I shot a deer también. And
I have it framed in the house.
Yes.
I was like 7 years old. And
those were beautiful, precious moments, Vito.
They were. You know, that I'll tell you this, that I firmly believe that a father figure and a father that's there and present in your life is such an important thing, and I'm so grateful that I had you there, and I didn't have you full time because you were working a lot, right? But I had you, right? That was important. You were there, and especially if you needed to get on my butt for something. Hey, you did this and you did that. It was an important thing because it took a lot. Even though Mom's a drill sergeant, but she's still a woman, and it's a little bit different.
Though, you know what? I remember when we used to hit the road 3.5 months without coming home.
Yeah.
And my dad and your mom used to take you all so I could go see you guys. And from there we would take off on the road también. I mean, Chihuahuas, precious moments. And I have to give your mom a lot of credit.
Yes, you do.
Because
yes, you do.
When I would hit the road, hey, remember that I used to tell you, mijito, I'm gonna hit the road.
You're the man of the house.
You're the man of the house.
That's right. That's
what my dad used to tell me.
That's what I tell my kids.
My dad was a truck driver, and he would tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What I would not do to have those days come back again. But at the end of the day, Vito, like I said a little while ago, we were born to die. We're farmers, so what you plant, you reap, and I've been blessed with a whole familia.
I have one last question, Dad. What did you think when I told you I was going to retire from music?
Well, I remember when you told me, why don't you retire, Dad? That way you can spend more time with Mom. What? The honeydews ain't gonna stop. But then you told me, Mijito, okay, you're planning on running for political office, and I know deep inside my heart, Mijito, okay, you've always cared about other people, because like, I remember when you used to do events for the March of Dimes.
Right. Make-A-Wish Foundation.
And stuff like that. And again, as far as I'm concerned, I know that once you set your mind to do something, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
In other words, you care about the people, and that's what it's all about. My dad, he said, son, never complain. Just turn your head behind your shoulder, and there's millions of people in worse shape than you're in.
Of course.
At the end of the day, if you complain, nobody gives a damn. So you do not drag the flag. Échale chingazos para adelante. And I want to wish you the very best when,
Thank you.
When you decide to run for political office.
Thank you. I didn't really get a reaction out of you. That's why I'm asking, because I got a more like an okay, all right. But I didn't really get like, no, not that I'm not complaining. I'm just curious, like what went on through your head as far as like.
Well, you know what?
Like this little.
What went through my head was this: you're doing so good,
right?
En la música, que you want to try something
completely new.
Because that's what you always aspired to do when you were going to St. Mary's University.
Right.
And sí se puede.
Primero Dios. I've heard that once or twice.
Primero Dios, okay? And échale le ganas y para adelante.
Dad, thank you so much for being here, man. I love you, Dad.
I love you
thank
too,
you,
son.
man.
I love you too. Un fuerte abrazo de parte de su primo Roberto Pulido y parte de los clásicos. Y luego también aquí, he stole my name, okay?